Welcome back. My name is Dr. George Mochocki. This is Introduction to Business, fully online, offered by the College of Lake County. This week, this is a short 15-minute quick overview of what is required for this week's homework. As to give you that kind of a virtual classroom experience, other than just reading information. Let's talk a little bit of last week. Last week, you were acting as a financial manager. The discussion board was a lot better than it was the previous week when you did the income statement. I could tell you that much. A lot of activities. You're doing very well. Okay, so we only have a couple more weeks left. I think if I look at my syllabi, we have, let's see, today's, we're doing week 19, so I have this week, and then we have week 15, and 2 weeks to be turning in your major project. I want you to look into this section here, major paper, click on it, look at my rubric, what's required for the major paper and your PowerPoint presentation, feasibility study, look how to submit your homework in PowerPoint or higher, okay, feasibility research plan. I have links here, look at them. It's about an hour. We'll explain in detail. In this week's forum, we're going to go back into weekly homework. And this week 19th forum, I'm going to open this up, is going to be, remember, the last few weeks, the forums are set up where they're open discussions. And what I basically mean, you'll ask questions. I give you an array of different items to talk about as you would in a staff meeting, as you would in a network. I give you some specific things I want you to look at, but there are other things within the discussion board that I want you to, how do I stimulate conversation? Some of you do well when you're first posting. Not, just a few of you. You do well in your first posting, but then you don't talk to anybody. You do one or two other posts, and then you say, well, they didn't talk back to me, so I'm not going to talk to anybody. That's not business. You go out there, you put your advertising sign, nobody comes. What do? You change your sign. You try to find a different market. There's enough people in here. There are people that'll talk to you. You have to respond. You just don't put the post and not responding. End of conversation. So what's going to happen this way? If you look at here, you have your week 14, Learn Smart. Make sure you do it. Some of you, I would recommend just, week 15 is already in there too. Read ahead, get your Learn Smart out of the way. So that's one list, that's 30 points. You already got done. You don't have to worry about it because now you can start focusing on your paper. What you have to do in time management is take a project. You got all these things to do, different things asking for your time. Select which ones I could get rid of easily. Boom, boom, boom. Learn Smart, you've been doing. Read the chapter. They're not that hard. A lot of students already have them done. Finish it. Now I've got the Learn Smart done. Now I could spend my time focusing on the paper. You should already have my 7 headers. Remember, executive summary, and then the last header is recommendation statement. Then you have your advertising, your market research. The 7 headers that you'll find in a major paper. What's required? You will have to have 35 words and concepts. Together over the whole paper. I need 35 business terminology and concepts from the book, bolded, underlined. That's required. You need to have at least 6 or 8 outside sources. Some of you, if you've been doing your homework, you already have the outside sources where you're getting information. You need to have that in there. You have to have for this class here, because it's done individually. When you look at my video, it's either done individually or as a team. Mostly when I look at the teams, I'm looking at anywhere between 3,400 and 4,400 words. Since you're an individual, I'm looking at 2,400 words. It's about like 8 pages, 9 pages, double space. The words could even be your sources. That's all considered word. I don't separate that. So you'll do well on this. Most people give me more than that. All right? Follow the headers. Look at the mind maps. It gives you all the information, what is required underneath each of the headers. Every paper will have those 7 headers identified. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay? All right, so now the discussion board. This week's discussion board, let me just make this a little bit bigger. Let me close this off here. Hang on a second. Remember, I'm always live. Most of you already know that. Okay, this week's discussion board. Let me just make this just a touch bigger so you could see it. Plus, gonna make it bigger. Maybe not. Okay, this week's. I thought I could have. I must already have his Mac discussion board. I want you to view. Oh, here's what's gonna happen. Before you go into the discussion board, let's do it this way. You have to go into your weekly work assignment. Remember, in Blackboard, some of you I know through your apps, you're going right into the discussion board, and I could tell how you're answering it. You didn't see the videos because you don't see them because they're in your Blackboard. You know, if you had the College of Lake County app, you go into your Blackboard and you'll be able to see it. Remember, an application on your smartphone, unless you're in through like Safari or some other things right into the internet in there, it is a smaller version of the big program, so you may not have all the features. Just remember that. All right, so sometimes when you take your exams or some of the work, you may be better off. I know on your forms you could do through your smartphone apps. A lot of students do pretty good on that. All right, so discussion board. Before you go in there, you have to go in here, financial videos and reading materials. Look before you go to the discussion board. So here's what you're going to do. Maybe I'll do it this way. So you're going to click on this, and what I want you to do, I've got several videos in here. This one here is two types. This is a basic. There's some articles. This is an article. This is another article about the NASDAQ. This is Yahoo Finance. So if you want to get some information, here's a video about bonds and mutual bonds and exchange traded funds, or what you'll see a lot of times in news, they would go ETFs. What the heck is ETF? It's not extraterrestrial entities. It's basically exchange trade fund. I know. The F didn't come out in there. All right. This one will come. All of these are real short clips. Look, this class is. You have to look at this class not only as a homework assignment. This is a basic, fundamental, foundational class. Any business you're going to work at, where you're going to be a manager, you're going to be an owner, you're going to be an employee, or you're going to be on staff or administrator, whatever. You have to understand how business functions. This is what this course is about. Part of business is, how do I attain capital? Do I go to, do I buy stocks or do I buy bonds? How do I hedge, not knowing what's going to happen in the financial market? Remember, I'm an entrepreneur. You're going to say, I don't need this, I don't have to worry about any kind of financing, for my business. Yes, you're an entrepreneur. You don't have an IRA. You don't have someone else going to take care of your pension. You have to plan now for your retirement. Not only do you sell your business, how do I prepare for that? What happens if I have extra income coming in? And I don't want to expand the business right away. What do I do with that income? It's going to be taxed. So I take that income, I invest it into a security. Instead of keeping it in the bank, do I get more money? A higher return on my capital investment as buying additional stocks in another company, or buying bonds, U.S. Treasury bond, or buying mutual funds, all those things, and then later on I can take the money out for my business. But you see what I mean? So when you do the income statement, when you did the income statement, that other income, people are going, I just real quickly, because I don't want to confuse you, other investments, other income coming in that helps your business, your operation, and it's also helping you when you're ready to retire. You're preparing not only for your business, but you're preparing for your own financial security going forward. You cannot close your eyes to this. As a manager, you look at the income statement and everything else you're doing in here. Look at yourself as a department head, not an entrepreneur. Same concept, same thinking. When you do your budget is basically like an income statement. Where is the money coming from? It could be internal from the organization. It could be external because I'm selling some products outside, or I have some other information. All right. So are we okay on this? So look at these videos. The first one I want you to look here is Motley Fool. So website retired. Quick video on hedge funds. Let me move some of these videos up here for you. Those people, all right. So I got the funds video. I've got this one video. The one I want to do, the Morning Star video, is the one I want you to look at first. Now, the Morning Star video, the video is going to look at Morning Star when I'm going to invest in. There's so many investment opportunities out there. Different stocks, different bonds, mutual funds. Some people go from the SB, Standards and Poor's 500, looking at that and buying shares or something in there through a fund manager. So if you're looking at exchange traded funds, falls into that. They'll explain this. Very simple. When you take myself or another instructor, either at the college or Lake County or at another school, other schools, and they go on finance, you have to understand it. As a manager, is going forward, you have to understand this. Okay, so look at these videos. Look at this one first. Just click on this. Remember, I always put the web address in case it doesn't go through Blackboard. Depends on your security features and your firewalls. You might have to cut and paste and put it in. But usually, you should just click on here. And there's a video, and this one basically is from the author, so it follows along from your book. Remember, when you're looking at the electronic book and doing your Learn Smart, when you're reading a book, the beauty of the book, some people still like the pages. I'm old-fashioned like it, but I know I'm getting used to it. When there's an area there and they say, hey, check this website, click on it. You go right to the website. You've got these resources. It brings your whole class alive. I'm trying to get we're at the end here. You only have a couple more weeks with me. All right? So when I look at here, it's going to go through, it's going to talk about what Morning Star is. No, maybe it won't. Maybe it will. I think that I'm recording several things, okay? If not, just click on here and you should be all right. All right? Remember, I'm recording, I'm using, I'm on different systems recording this while I'm doing this live. Otherwise, just click on it and take it out. All right? Okay, so let's see. So we have that. So now you're going to go back into your weekly assignment, week 4. You watch the videos. You did your Learn Smart. Now you're going to come in here and you're going to do your form. If you notice what I got in here, the form is from 20 to 25 points. Let me go back here a little bit. I'll just go back one real quickly. Okay, so financial forms. What's required on the forms? Oh, I can't get this thing to look bigger on me. Oh, there we go. I was hitting the shift key instead of control key. Oh, gee, this is so much easier to see. So you looked at Morningstar hedge funds, some security articles, and some articles in stocks and bonds. Okay, that's what you're going to do. Now I've got this information. 20 quick minutes. You listen to my video that I have in here. The full lecture using a concept map. Now I do the Learn Smart. Wow, man, I really remember this because now it's not new information. I'm not guessing. Just like you'd be going to work, your boss is going to talk about this, or your supervisor, let's discuss our budget. You will at least feel comfortable in knowing what they're talking about. I have some students that take my class and they're opening up a business and they're dealing with the bankers or they're dealing with other business individuals. And after taking this class, just with the terminology, I really stress using the terminology in your discussion boards, / forums, because the terminology, they'll say, man, now when they're talking about revenue, they're talking about yield and investment. I understand this stuff, Dr. George. That's what this course is for. And then you take the class in marketing. Then you take a class in finance. And I teach a lot of these classes. And now you start understanding more and more. That's how you become. Now you understand what's required, what to look out for, what is the advantages, what are the disadvantages, what are the risk factors. All this is what you're learning about business. Everyday life, you're interacting in business people, and now you're moving up, you open up your own business, or you're a manager, or you're working for someone so you can understand what they're thinking about. So when you go for your next raise, you know exactly how to approach them from a business perspective, and it gives you credibility. Okay, so now you come in here, discussion board. You view the video first and other articles found in this week's videos, reading materials, list several items you found that would help you in understanding what a security is. So say, hey, I found this article, I read this, and this kind of helped me in securities. Because I thought securities were this, but actually they're this. Now remember, don't be limited. We're talking about here, because, I come in, don't be limited on only what I supply to you. Find another site. Put it in here. If you look in here, let me see if I can bring this up here again. I can't bring it up here. Here we go. If you look in here, I have student paper, other web links. I'll put it up here, maybe by in here. These other web links in your business, let me come in here. These are web links that either you put in here or other students provided me, and I just keep on putting in here. So if you come up with a new web link, I appreciate it. The class appreciates it. We all appreciate it, not only this class and future classes. That's how I build the network. That's how I build stuff in there. And I keep on updating it because they get mad at me in Blackboard because I use a lot of memory in here. Okay, this is going to be available in a few minutes this morning. So you're going to do that. Now, are you currently planning to start investing in securities such as a business owner or for your own personal? So first you look at the Morning Star articles, give me some feedback. Then in the subject matter, say, hey, I personally think investment is good and here's a good side. I personally have been investing for so long and here's how much I'm doing. I don't think investment's worth it at my age. Whatever you want. I want conversation. Now, remember, I'm going to talk about this 20 to 25 points. As the small business owner, should you consider as an option, and how would you incorporate into your proposal major paper? So you may say, I have extra money because the bank, I went out for a loan, I got a loan. Remember I told you when you're doing your loan, get a little bit extra just in case the first 6 months may be a little rockier than you anticipate. If money's coming in there, fine, use the money to either expand the business or you could always pay back the loan quicker, or use the money in the loan. A finance manager, I get the loan for 3%, I invested in the CD, commercial deposit, or in some stocks and everything else, and I'm gonna, hopefully I'll get a higher return or mutual fund that kind of, there's always a risk in stocks. Bonds a little bit safer, but the company goes under, could be pay off their debt obligation. But stocks, I mean, there's like mutual funds. There's some stocks or some bonds, for lack of a better word, are safer than others, but there's not a higher return. As long as you get a higher return than what you borrowed the money from, you should be all right. You know what I mean? And look at the risk factor. Because remember, you're financial. You have to look, where's the extra money coming in? How do I do it? Or do I do it for my own personal, for my retirement? And I have a longer time for it to, go through the different cycles when I sell and buy. Remember, when you buy stocks, even bonds a little bit, but more stocks, and the secondary market goes up and down. And so you could make money or you could lose money. So any money you put into the stock markets or into securities, when we talk of securities, there's stocks and bonds. The bonds are the stepchild or sister or whatever, brother of the stock market. You trade them in the secondary market just as much as you do stocks. They're a little safer, for lack of better words, just because if the company goes under, you have to pay off your debt first because stockholders are owners. But owners, you get rights. You have either you share on the profits, what we would call dividends, or you share as the company grows. As the company grows, then you can sell that stock or your portion of ownership on a secondary market for the new value of the purchase, the new value of the stock, or of the value of the organization went up. Similarly, you buy a house. You buy a house now for about $300,000. Hopefully, in 10 years, it may be worth $400,000. You sell that. What's your return on investment or your yield after you pay everything else off? All right. So we have that. Are we good? I'm finished with this. Okay. So let's go back into the forum. I got 2 more minutes. So you're gonna go and you're going to answer that, and then you're going to add this. Now, after you answered my questions in here, I'm leaving you an extra 5 points. So this homework for discussion board is worth 20 points. If you go over my 7, I mean, I think it's, I'm looking at, for you get an A, you have to at least have 8 or 9, not counting my first reply to my question, but other 8 replies to other students to get the full 20 points. If you only give me half, if you only give me 1 reply, the major one, you get 5 points. So 5 out of 15, that's an F. Okay, like it or not, you didn't look at yourself. You're as a business owner, and you didn't deliver the full amount at the time that I required it. Am I going to be happy as a customer? No. I'm not going to use you. Or if I use you next time, or if you don't pay me back on time, I'm going to charge you a higher interest rate and tighten up my terms and conditions. That the first time you're late, boom, I cut off all credit or whatever. Okay? So now, you've done your discussion. You answered my question to the video. You talked about your business or your personal things, what you're going to do with investments and security. If you are, you're going to come up with a couple of sites or anything, new sites you find out, you could use that as one of your sources in your major paper. Then you have any questions. After, don't ask questions. I've looked at some of the questions. What do I do that? I know Kevin, you've been helping out a lot in here, and some other students, students. Well, Dr. George wants this 7 headers. Oh, I didn't know that. Look at this major paper before you ask any questions. That's what I'm referring to you. Your boss or your supervisor gave you the handout. Don't go in a meeting and say, where is this? And say, I just gave you a handout. You look like I was going to say a fool, but I'm going to be a little more gentle. You look like an unprepared individual in the meeting. So if am I going to promote someone or consider someone credible if he or she's always late, they're not organized, or they're not prepared? You want to come in there and say, here's the value I am. You hired me. Not only do I do my job, but I provide you value, because that's, added value, like we're talking about pricing. Oh, gee, man, I don't want George to leave. He does all this other stuff. Let's give him a raise. Let's give him a promotion. Let's make him or her happy. All right? So that's this week's lecture. And again, the way I always should approach it, before you do any of this, at least go on here, look at my lecture. I have a full lecture. This one's 43 minutes. You click on it. And remember, my lectures are nice. I go through here.
Hello, my name's
There I am again, and I go through the whole map. So you can move me along, turn me off, and every so when you look at the map, it tells you trading service. I go through step and step. You'll do fine. Okay, so again, my name is Dr. George Mochocki, and again, welcome to this class. You have 2 more weeks, and you'll be doing your final paper. You'll be presenting a paper to me through the documents. You've done that when you presented the one homework assignment as a Microsoft Word document. If you don't have it, go into your College of Lake County student portal, download the Office, I forgot what it is, Microsoft Office in the student portal. As long as you got a College of Lake County email, you have the full access to PowerPoints, Microsoft Word, Access, and Excel. They also have a version for Apple users, so there should be no questions. You want to make sure that you do well on your paper. Look at it. Let's do a little discussion. And then next week we'll be talking about banking. And the last week, in the second week, that whole forum be open just for you, any questions on your paper. Do not wait till the last minute to start on your major paper. Your major paper is basically lets me know that you conceptually understand how I would if I had to open up a business or operate my department, and looking for different ways of funding resources that I'm looking for. You'll also have a final exam in this class. The final exam is more of a departmental exam, and the final exam, when I'm looking at the final exam, it's 100 questions going through. They change it every semester, so you should do well. So the paper, the PowerPoint gives you actual practicality. The final exams gives you is testing your understanding of conceptual vocabulary and concepts. And now you are, when you finish this course, you have a good, solid foundation of what every business is, from George's hot dog stand to Abbott Labs or Motorola's or ComEd or Illinois Bell or whatever company you're working for, from small to large, domestic and international, have to contend with every day. And I'll see you next week. And thank you very much. Bye.